And hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Shabbat Show. Everybody's doing well. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who is celebrating wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you're coming in from. What a great show we have for you tonight. What an incredible, incredible night this is. You know, Thanksgiving is a big deal because Thanksgiving is another reminder for us to be thankful for the things that we have. I want to go back. I remember learning about Thanksgiving growing up in school. The Pilgrims came over. We think that like when they showed up to America, like it looked like this. It didn't at all. There was no food. They came in from England. The first time they got here, I think they spent the winter on the boat. They couldn't even get off the boat. Half of them died. They came out. They had to find food. They had to harvest. And after a year or two, 1620, 1621, when that harvest finally came through, they had these celebrations of Thanksgiving to thank the Almighty for giving them a bountiful harvest. And this began a tradition in the shores of America that through Abraham Lincoln was then turned into a Thursday in November, and here we are today. And no matter where you're listening in from, there's always a good reason to be thankful. We don't need a reason to take a minute and be thankful for our bounty. And even with the challenges that we've all experienced this year, it's still incredibly important for us to be thankful, for us to have gratitude, and for us to be able to share that gratitude with each other. So wherever you're coming in from today, hopefully from your families and your meals, social distancing appropriate, wherever you are, it's an honor to be with you right now to have a show about gratitude. And this is like an all-star show. We've got such incredible, incredible guests coming in for you now. I want to dedicate the show. It's sponsored in loving memory of Albert and Miriam at Magid. We thank you for that sponsorship. And we've got an incredible show coming up. We've got Naftali Miller, the founder of an incredible organization. We've got Rabbi Steve Berg of Esha Torah. We've got Eliza Abrams-Koenig and her famous synagogue pizza brigade. We got Rabbi Wallerstein, Jamie Geller. There's so much going on this show. Stick with us all the way to the end. We're really going to explore the different aspects of gratitude, the different perspectives of gratitude. And I hope by the end of the week, the end of the show, be a little bit better. First, let's begin with our good friend Michael, who is on the streets in Leeds, UK.
Hello, I'm Michael Apfel. I'm back from sunny England. We're going to be asking people today about what gratitude is to them, what they're grateful for, maybe what they're not grateful for, what they think people think gratitude is. So right from the middle of Leeds city centre, where I was born, here we go. I don't know what that noise was, by the way. You know, we don't really have a name for this segment. I don't know if it's man on the street, Michael on the street, I have no idea. Define gratitude.
Acknowledging the people, presence and gifts in your life, the blessings in your life.
Gratitude is the feeling we have towards others and definitely towards God. Every day, I feel like we're so blessed in so many ways. And if we turn around and recognise that, we become grateful people.
The easiest way is if you wake up in the morning and you're a certain age and you open your eyes and you're still breathing, you've got to say gratitude nowadays.
Welcome to Leeds City Markets. It's an institution. So much of the tradition actually is still here. It's just people, just what we call grafting. So just to clarify, this is literally one of my oldest friends from childhood, Michael. Known each other since we were babies.
Yeah, that's right. If you see somebody needed help, they're going to be gratitude for whatever you do to helping that person.
I used to get 3 packs of strawberries for £1 growing up. Gone are those days. You can't really describe the smell when you walk into a fish market. So I think in 2004 we shot a short film up there on that thing. And what happened was the police came up and they heard us yelling. The police pulled guns. And the police, I'm not even kidding, the police in England don't have guns. They passed us down, said nothing going on. I said, what are you doing here? I said, we're just shooting a short film. And there was a politician who was touring this place that day. And it turns out that me and my friends, we had picked the best spot to assassinate that politician that day. And then they left, went, have you got permission to be here? And I went, yeah, thank you very much. And they said, okay, have a good day. And I never had permission to be there. What have you had to be grateful for in life?
Being alive and coming to this country. Obviously with my mum, that's gratitude. She's brought you up.
I'm grateful for absolutely everything. For my wife, 2 healthy children, I've got a wonderful community. I'm actually new to this community. Absolutely everything. I enjoy the fresh air. I enjoy it when it rains, that things grow.
So how do you actually express your gratitude for something?
I mean, to my wife, I would like to say thank you and buy her some flowers. To my kids, I would say thank you and then push them out the door. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that. Point is that the person feels appreciated.
Okay, said it before and I'll say it again. I have no idea why we have the weirdest names to pubs. Proof the slug and lettuce. What's the logic?
Well, mostly I'm grateful for having the opportunity to be on this show.
Your wife, say that first.
My wife.
About 4 weeks ago, my wife died. My gratitude is I was married for 43 years and we did marvellous things together. They say that a rich man is the one that's happy with his lot, and if you're happy, that's gratitude.
That's it for this week. Thank you very much, Charlie. It's about gratitude, what gratitude is to them, what they think it may mean to other people as well. So I hope you liked it. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you're grateful for it. I get it. Yeah, whatever.
We thank you, Michael, for your reporting all the way from the UK. And we thank you for your humor and your ability to bring out the points in each and every person. That's Michael that's our man on the street in Leeds, UK. Shout outs are coming out tonight. We're going to pick different groups tonight a little bit. So if you're coming out, we'd love to see you on Zoom and on Facebook. You can go to my Facebook page, of course. It means a lot to everybody when we do Shabbat Shaloms. It brings our whole community together. If you're coming out from out of the country, please feel free to go to Facebook. We'd love to call you out. If you're not from America, we'd love to see you as well. So don't feel shy. Give us a chance to say Shabbat Shalom to you as well. And we thank you for everybody who's coming in with the Shabbat Shaloms. We got a great thing going on today because Project Inspire is a program of Esha Torah. And Esha Torah is an incredible yeshiva that is situated in the greatest place on earth, literally steps from the Western Wall. And they have the best students. And they have the best program, and they have the best rabbis. It's unbelievable. If you have a chance to study just for a moment there, it'll inspire you. And what they did for Thanksgiving is a whole bunch of students got together and decided to send little small messages throughout this show to their friends and their family. So check out, we're going to sprinkle some of their messages throughout the show. Let's meet our first student, Jack Nicolason.
Hi, my name is Jack. I'm coming to you from Esha Torah, across the courtyard from the Western Wall. Thanksgiving is coming up this week, and I wanted to wish everyone watching this, including my family and friends back home in Ohio, happy Thanksgiving. One thing I'm eternally grateful for is the ability to spend the past year here in Jerusalem at Esha Torah, learning Torah. As we move into next year, into 2021, I want to wish everybody a successful and memory-filled year. And I hope to see all of you here next year in Jerusalem.
We thank you, Jack, and continue doing what you're doing. Our first guest is an incredible man. His name is Naftali Miller. He's the founding director of Chasdei Lev and the national director of development for the good of Israel of America. Now, we'll be talking with Naftali about this incredible organization he started called Chasdei Lev. Before we meet him, I want to play you a short video that gives you a sense of the magnitude of the numbers of gratitude that these guys have. Check out this video. And I want to welcome Naftali to the show. Naftali, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
So this is incredible, and the tagline sort of got me. It's the least we can do. What does that mean? What is Chazdei Lev? What are you doing, and why is that the tagline? It almost feels like it's a movement based on gratitude, like it's the least we can do.
Right. First of all, the show is about gratitude, so thank you for having me on the show.
It's our honor.
So Chazdei Lev is the name really reflects kindness of the heart. We looked at it and we said the teachers who give us knowledge, which is probably the most important thing that you can get in life. Those people comes to holiday and they struggle to put food on the table. It just didn't make sense to us. So normally a person gives food to somebody and they feel like they're taking. We wanted to turn this around and say, instead of they should feel like takers, we should feel like it's an opportunity, appreciation for their kindness, what they do for us, and how they give us knowledge. It's our opportunity to pay them back, and they shouldn't feel like takers, but rather as givers and all the good they should feel for it.
So you're delivering these packages, which I'm sure is filled with food and other things that is delivered to the homes of the teachers around the country. It looks like all these different spots as a sign of gratitude. It's unbelievable, as a sign of gratitude. Like this is what makes our people like unbelievable. What I was struck by, and maybe you can give us an insight on, and is that there were so many. It wasn't like I saw, hired help, right? There were kids. It was like a whole army of regular people that was joining her. How many people are a part of this?
There's probably, I would say, thousands of volunteers where we have part of the organization. We started the organization about 12 years ago. We don't have a paid employee, and we do per season about over $12 million of sales, of the amount of purchasing that we buy. Everything is done on volunteers, and the people that are involved in the organization run the biggest companies. I remember a couple of years back, a guy pulled up with a brand new Mercedes, and someone left a case of chicken there. He said, "Sure, I'll take it." And the case of chicken was dripping and he puts it into his trunk, and he's driving it to the rabbi's house, and he comes to the house, and the rabbi thinks he's a porter. So he says, "Can I give you a tip, $1?" And he took the dollar and he said it was the happiest dollar. He's making $500,000 a year, and he got $1 tip. And he said that dollar was meant the most to him. What
are you seeing? We talk about gratitude all the time, right? And the gratitude is in our blood. It's how God wants us to act. Like we say, the modani is the first thing we come out of our mouths. But what I don't think appreciate as much is not what it does for the person that we're grateful for. It's what it does for the person giving gratitude. So now you're sitting and you got this incredible organization that's doing grateful things. You're giving gratitude to the teachers, but you have this unique perspective of watching volunteers. Like you said, the story of the man who gets into his new car and drives over the package to the rabbi. I'm thinking the kids, the jackets, the groups of people. And I'm looking at like all these people lined up in front of trailers. What does the giving, the gratitude do for your volunteers?
So typically on a Saturday night, when we start bringing in the stuff from the warehouse, we're unloading about 70 trailers. And we have about 100 people offloading, and these are all people, business people, and they stay up the whole night. Unloading, setting it up for about, per area, about 1,700 cars that come in. And they stay the whole night, and they're there until Sunday night, late Sunday night, cleaning up. And they tell us they come alive. They work the hardest they ever worked. The kids come and they say they wait the whole year to come and help and schlep.
Right.
And they're sweating, and they haven't taken a shower in 24 hours. But you see the happiness on the face that they did a kindness for somebody else. Wow. It's priceless. When you light up somebody else and you give them something, you feel amazing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big misconceptions, that the more gratitude we share, the more we give. We think in some ways it's going to take from us. It's going to give us in ways that we couldn't even dream.
yes, yes. There's a short story I'm just thinking about. We got a letter last year, Hanukkah, from a rabbi that bought stuff during the big Sukkot time, on the holiday, and they forgot that they had the stuff in their house, and it was getting very tight in the house financially. And he opened up the closet and he said, "It's a time of miracles." And I saw that I had the extra product in my house, and I was able to make it. I have such gratitude to you.
Wow.
For so the letters that we get from the teachers, and gives us the inspiration to keep on going.
Yeah.
And it's a tremendous you feed off each other, and but I think I just want to give gratitude to one other person, which is really about 10 years ago. We sat down with Reuven Feinstein, and since that time we've been in touch with him every single step of the way. And the foresight, and also more so every hardship that we had somebody to ask and get guidance.
Yeah,
has really allowed us to grow.
Oh, thank you so much. This is such a great organization, and may you continue to grow. And thank you for doing, like you said, it's the least we can do, taking a step forward and being grateful to our teachers. And may you continue shining your light on this world. Thank you so much, Charlie. Have a good night. Have a good night. That was incredible. And it's such a great lesson to take on responsibility, and the way you give, you get so much more. If you remember last week, we met with the Project Inspire staff, and we were talking about the upcoming Hanukkah Easy Outreach campaign, where you can go to projectinspire.com and buy a Hanukkah gift for someone you care about, and they will send it directly to somebody else. Check out this quick video about this program.
Hanukkah is right here. Did you know that the menorah might be the most recognizable Jewish symbol in the world? Donuts, latkes, family and friends. But maybe not this year. Project Inspire has just the thing to allow you to reach out and share the light and warmth of Hanukkah. The Hanukkah Easy Outreach gift is now on sale. For just $11.99, which includes shipping, we'll send your family, friends, or coworkers a beautiful Hanukkah package that includes a menorah, candles from Israel, chocolate coins, and a card with detailed explanations of the blessings and customs. And you can add a personal message. Just go to projectinspire.com and order yours today. That's projectinspire.com. So while you might not get to have your Aunt Barbara's crispy, oily, drenched potato latkes, or hear little Jakey's rendition of I Had a Little Dreidel, you can still stay connected with the Hanukkah Easy Outreach gift at projectinspire.com now. Limited quantities available. That's projectinspire.com. Go to projectinspire.com now.
Check that out. It's a great way to stay connected today and to bring the light of Hanukkah, coming at us in about a week and a half. So it's coming sooner than we think. Our next guest is Aliza Abrams-Koenig. She's the Director of Alumni Engagement at Yeshiva University. Throughout Aliza's career, she has worked within a variety of areas within the Jewish education and experiential education. Earlier in Aliza's career, she served as an assistant principal at Central Yeshiva University High School for Girls. Aliza has spoken worldwide in synagogues, community centers, and schools, and is a sought-after consultant on experiential education. Aliza, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
It is great to have you on. And I've been hearing about this thing called a pizza brigade. So can you please tell us, that everyone who's listening, what is a pizza brigade?
Sure. Well, let me first clarify that there were no capes or costumes involved, but it actually started Purim. I live in Riverdale. I go to the Riverdale Minyan, and Riverdale, New York is actually just a couple miles from New Rochelle. And New Rochelle is where the first case of coronavirus had been tested positive. And because of that, we were of the first communities to shut down just as Purim was beginning. And we had scheduled a big Purim party, and we had ordered, 40 pies of pizza amongst all the other treats. And as things were just becoming, we were just getting information, we said, well, it's not safe for us to have a party. We're going to still have Megillah and everything else, but let's just hold off on the pizza. And at the same time, a local day school was the first school to shut down. And all of a sudden, all these kids and their families were in quarantine. We didn't even know what the word quarantine really meant back then.
Wow.
And so we just said, let's keep the pizza, but let's deliver it to them. And so on Purim Day, we went and delivered 40 pies of pizza. And we called ourselves the Pizza Brigade because we just needed a sticky name, something funny. And I have to say, though, the rabbi was dressed up. Nobody else was in costumes, but it was Purim, so our rabbi was dressed up.
Oh, is that amazing? Is that amazing? So what has that done for you? Like, give us the implications of those activities.
Sure. So we decided then we were just going week by week. Again, we didn't know what was happening at the beginning of Corona. So the first Sunday, or the first time we did a pizza delivery was Purim. And then we saw that there was a need the following Sunday and the Sunday after that. And we turned to our community and we just said, listen, if anybody is interested in receiving a pie, please let us know. We're happy to give it to whomever. And it was actually fascinating to see how many people said, I'd rather just sponsor. Can I just give you money? Can you give this pie to somebody else? And it just kept domino effect. And the next thing we knew, we had so much money collected because people were really feeling generous, even though, again, life was shutting down around us. We said, let's give to our local emergency room. We're right near the Bronx, Montefiore Hospital, and we connected with the hospital. We have some of their doctors go to our synagogue, and we delivered 40 pies there. And then we decided to do it for the Hatzalah members who live in our community. And again, another 30 pies there. And then we went to 2 more hospitals, and we just kept delivering the pizzas because we couldn't be helpful in any other way. And it was, as we joked, it was hugs in the form of pizza, and everybody wanted to do more. And I was getting donations from outside of our community, and it was just really incredible to see how the people who received the pizza felt and the people who were delivering the pizza felt. It was this point of connection that everyone really appreciated because everyone was feeling so isolated and scared at that time.
Wow. And what an interesting concept that, this idea that when you're giving, you're feeling differently, you're feeling better. The concept that people want when they're attached to giving, when they're attached to gratitude, it's like the expression of the soul. It feels so much better, the giving than the taking. And it's such an interesting point that I want to bring out here, which is the way you weren't helping, let's just say, and you said it wasn't like you were jumping in an ER room and you're like, give me a scalpel, I got this one, right? You were just like, hey, I'm here. I want to say thank you. And I just want to do something that is just a little bit better for your life. Like, I didn't pay for your kid's college tuition. I'm just giving you a piece of pizza. And I think we messed this up. And I want to explore this with you. I think we think that if I can't solve it, if I can't really make the difference, what's the point? And I think this example that's the point, is that you don't have to solve it. You have to just be willing to do something, and that in itself can really change the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's actually interesting. What happened from just our giving was we were working with a small local pizza shop here in Riverdale who also bakes challahs. And he was losing so much business. And he said to me, would you mind maybe just once, could you organize like a big challah delivery and I will drop it off at people's buildings. We're a lot of apartment buildings here in Riverdale. And he said, if you get 15 orders, I'll drop it off at a building. I said, sure, let me send out a Google form, let people, try and buy challah. I didn't know how many to expect. And that first week we sold like $500 in challah. And it's still going on today. I still organize it every week. And even just last week, I got an email from a woman who said, I can't thank you enough for this. Like, it makes my life so much easier that I can just go downstairs to my lobby and I get my challah. Like something so small, we don't even think about. And meanwhile, his business is still struggling, but he truly, every $100 of challah rolls that we sell each week for him, he is so appreciative. And everybody who buys it feels like they're also a part of just helping him.
Great.
There's tremendous gratitude across the board.
Yeah. And one thing that I love about this story that I want to just highlight before we move on is that you didn't get a degree in this, right? This is not what you do. You're an educator. You're someone who you have your expertise in other things, but in life, you don't have to have a degree to step up and help. And you become an expert, if you will. Like you're coordinating so much carbs. You know what I'm saying? You're the expert right now in carb coordination for Riverdale, like pizzas, challahs, but you didn't have training in this. And that's what's so great about this story, is that it puts all of us on notice that if you see something, you don't got to be the expert in the room to do it. Just go out and do it, and it'll go where it goes. But just be God's conduit. Did you feel that along the way, that like as if God was working through you to bring all this joy to people?
Absolutely. Every time I even tell my community that I've had the opportunity to speak about what we did, I just say, I'm just representing all of us. I absolutely didn't do this by myself. And it was an idea, my friend Yardena Osband and I, we were talking about this, and it was together that we came up with this idea. And we just, we knew that some idea had to happen, and it just came to us. And we absolutely felt, that it was part of God's plan, that we knew that people were isolated, but we knew that we could do something to bring the community together. And for many people, that was the last time they even saw some people. And it's still a memory that comes up from time to time. And it's just this communal touch point for so many people. And it's definitely something that's bigger than all of us.
Amazing. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being on our show and sharing this with us. It brings so much joy to me, and I'm sure to everybody else. Continue doing what you're doing and shining your light on this world.
Thank you so much. Have a great Shabbos. Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a great Shabbos. Happy Thanksgiving. I absolutely love that. Don't you? I mean, that's what this is about. This is about being a person that looks out into the world and sees a need and jumps in. This is it. There's so much of this story that is about our own lives that I think is such a great takeaway. This week, we've got such a great program as Project Inspire. And every week we talk about this idea called MindFlex, right? There's this popular deep dive series. It's one of the great programs that Project Inspire has introduced over the past few months. It's a MindFlex deep dive series. They basically go deep dive into a compelling Jewish topic. They use Zoom breakout rooms where small groups discuss sources and questions designed to promote stimulating conversations. And there's a real give and take. To spice it all up, they've got the great Rabbi Tzvi Sittner from the Village Shul of Toronto, who is awesome, who shares his wisdom with the whole group at the beginning and the end. I had a chance to catch up with two of the participants. They're actually chavrutot, they're chavrusas. They study together. I caught up with them earlier today just to get their sense. Sometimes I keep on saying it, but sometimes I want to hear from the people that are actually doing it. So check this out. So thank you guys so much for joining us on the show. Thank you for taking the time out of Thanksgiving. And I know that the both of you have been involved in the deep dive series and have been studying together. Maybe, share with us a little bit about what it's done for you and the experience that you've had.
It's become a really important part of my week. Both David and I find time to learn just about every Sunday. And then I think it's Tuesday nights we do these deep dives, and it's been really consistent. During COVID, it's been one of the best ways to reach out to folks over this medium that we're all using. And we get the opportunity to connect to really, really strong content, and then use the advantages of being in our quarantine states to then actually hear the content, digest it, and then meet in one-on-one groups. The format is working really, really well.
Amazing. So David, what's it like for you being able to connect to this material as well?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, let's talk about the deep dive, the MindFlex on Tuesday nights or so. So, the modules are excellent. Really, ideas that are main foundational principles of Judaism. I think 2 weeks ago was V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, and then we had Bechira Chafshis, and in each case, I mean, I learned things I never really, so many different angles, different facets of these critical concepts I never saw before. I was exposed to and looking at the material before we got together, and then going through it together, with the group on the phone, everyone, questions being asked, everyone sort of reacts to the material in a different way, has a new insight to add, and it generates discussion that just opens up new worlds of understanding and these critical concepts of Judaism. It's terrific. It's a great program, a great setup. The modules are great, and the format just really, really works. So,
and it's so good to hear. And I think as people, the hesitation people have to jump into these forums is, maybe I don't know enough. Maybe I'll be uncomfortable if I learn one-on-one with somebody. Like, will that mesh? What has been your experience? You guys didn't know each other beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. So you met in this virtual world, so to speak, and you've created this relationship. So for someone who's out there thinking I don't know anybody, and what if I come in and it's uncomfortable? What has been your experience in terms of the uncomfortability of it, to get somebody who's new to say, hey, let me try this?
It's become this recurring theme in each of our weeks to check in with each other. We say there's Bashir just about every week, where we'll find something that relate to either the Parsha or something in our lives or in the world that really relates to what we're learning through Perkei Avos. And we enjoy it a lot, enjoy that time with each other.
Darren, how highly do you recommend this? And someone's out there going, I'm not sure, maybe I shouldn't, maybe my background.
For a one-on-one chavrusa kind of thing, Charlie? I think it's terrific because it really gives you time to deep dive into topics. If you're focused on not just the connection to Hashem, but the intellectual rigor that learning environment brings on is really a refreshing part of a week where we all stay so focused. Your show and other we touch these moments of joy, but it's really, really refreshing to have those consistent academic, philosophical, intellectual dives.
Totally true. Yeah. David, Darren, thank you for who you are, what you're doing, and thanks for being a part of this program and sharing it with others. I'm sure it's inspiring people as we speak, and I hope that you continue to learn together and grow together and shine your light on the world.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Good time. So check out that program. It's taking place each week. This week, we got a special one called Israel in Greece, the Clash of Civilizations. Usually, we're going to have, as usual, we're going to have our tzvi sit in there, open and close with words of inspiration. We're going to split into pairs. It should be very interesting for those that want. And of course, always remember one-on-ones. You can text 97,000 one-on-ones. Like we just saw, it can literally change your week. Before we go to the next program, I want to give a couple of Shabbat Shaloms. I've been trying to hold out because I'm watching them grow over here, but I can't hold out any longer. To Shabbat Shalom to Henya from Toronto. Shabbat Shalom to Rochelle and Michael Kersner from Toronto. And happy Thanksgiving to you and to everybody here. The Silver family, Shabbat Shalom in Highland Park, New Jersey. Shabbat Shalom to Ed Leland. Shabbat Shalom to you and thank you for your kind words. Rivka Tyler. Patriots Rock, Shabbat Shalom to you. To Jerry and Goldie Tauber, Shabbat Shalom to you. We got Jamie's family tuning on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shabbat Shalom to Janet Michael from Calgary, Canada. Shabbat Shalom to Fran from Milwaukee. Shabbat Shalom to Aliza Mervis and the Mervis family in Silver Spring, Maryland. Let me just go down to a couple from Facebook. You know what? Let's go to the student our next student video, and then I'll go back to some more afterwards. So I want to go back to Aisha Torah Jerusalem for the next student to say a couple of words for Thanksgiving.
Hey guys, I'm Jake. Wanting to wish all my friends and family back in America a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. I know it's been a really rough year, but we have so much more to be grateful for. I know personally I'm so grateful and thankful to be right next to the Western Wall for Thanksgiving. I know all of you back in the States are going to have a really wonderful day as well. Keep on being positive, keep on being grateful, and we're going to bring all this positive vibes into 2021. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. Don't you love these students? Now it's time for the moment that we all love, Kahoot. For those that are joining us for the first time, we play a competitive video game every single week with each other. Go to kahoot.it if you want to join in. You can do it on your app, on your phone, or you can just do it on the computer. Go to kahoot.it. Let's go to Kahoot right now to my Project Inspired production team. Let's go to Kahoot. And here we go. Type in the code 632-7318, 632-7318. Here we go. As the Kahoot team starts to jump on over here, let's get rolling here. 632-7318. As you do that, I want to go to Facebook and just wish a Shabbat Shalom to Debbie Laufer from Boston, Liran Hirschkorn, Shabbat Shalom, Rona Adler from Fairlawn, Shabbat Shalom to you, Vanessa Crichton from Melbourne, Australia, Shabbat Shalom, Ruth Perez from West Orange, New Jersey, the Popels in Miami, to Lori Polanski McCroson, Shabbat Shalom to you. I think they're currently in Netanya, or they're in West Hempstead, one of those two places. Wherever you are, Shabbat Shalom. Eliezer Broad from Toronto, Shabbat Shalom to you. Elisa Nussbaum, Shabbat Shalom to you. And Shabbat Shalom to all those that are tuning in from all over. Let's give it Kahoot another minute or two. Someone just jumped in as me in Kahoot. I hope they win, but I'm not playing. But whoever jumped in as me, good luck. good extra luck over here. Let's go another 1 minute or two, and then we'll get ready to roll. Let me just do one more Shabbat Shalom before we go. To Robin Meyerson of Scottsdale, Arizona. Shabbat Shalom to you. Okay, let's get rolling. Team, let's get Kahoot going. Okay, here goes. At the first Thanksgiving meal, the tribe of Indians sat down to eat with the colonists. This tribe, Sioux, did I say that right? Wampanoag, the Cleveland Indians, and Cherokee. Who was the tribe of Indians that sat down to eat with the colonists in that first Thanksgiving meal? Shabbat Shalom to Helen from Toronto. Marilyn Bodner of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Shabbat Shalom. The Novak family from Toronto. Shabbat Shalom to you again. And here comes the answer. The answer is the Wampano. The Wampano family, tribe. They were the first ones to make peace with the colonists. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see how we did. Rachel, the Kamchis, Mervis, John, and CS. Where's the Charlie Harari guy? Okay, here goes. The Indians brought 5 of these as an offering. Turkeys, deer, bow and arrows, or woven baskets. What did the Indians bring as an offering? Shabbat Shalom to Rachel S. from Providence, Rhode Island, to Leah from Montreal, Quebec, John from Oxfordshire, England. Shabbat Shalom to you. Here comes the answer. And the answer is deer. How about that? I was going to go with woven baskets if you asked me. That's what I would have guessed. But apparently the answer is deer. Kamchis, CHM family, Rachel S. and Mervis family. I hope I'm saying the Kamchis right, or is it the Kemchis? I don't know. But they're on top. Here we go. Next question. How do you say gratitude in Hebrew? You know a Hebrew one's coming up. Toda rabah, bivakasha, hakarat hatov, or chaval. Gratitude. Toda rabah, bivakasha, hakarat hatov, or chaval. To the Minsters in Cincinnati, Shabbat Shalom. To the Birmheims in Birmingham, Alabama, Shabbat Shalom. Juliet of Boston, Shabbat Shalom. To Rabbi Seed Sittner, Shabbat Shalom to you. The answer is Hakarat HaTov. That was a quick lap around the bases for our contestants. The Kamshi is still on top. CHM family, Rachel S. and Mervis. I don't think there's a move. Look at that. Okay, let's go next to the final question. Anything can happen in the bottom of the ninth. Thanksgiving Day as Canada is celebrated on the second Monday in October, on June 5th, no matter what day it is. Depends if the groundhog sees his shadow and on the same day as the U.S. This is, I guess, unfairly favoring our Torontonians and everyone else that comes in. I see tons of Canada that are coming in here, so they may have a little bit of an advantage here, but that's okay. Tehila Freeman, Shabbat Shalom. Rosen family from Far Rockaway, Shabbat Shalom to you. Okay, let's see how we did. The second Monday in October. And that's, I guess, a lot of how people see. Let's see how we played out over here. CS comes in third. The Kamshi's in second place. And the number one place goes to the M family. Congratulations, M family. The runners-up, Mervis and Rachel. Thank you so much for playing Kahoot. And I hope that wherever you are playing this game, I hope that you're at least competing with each other. Our next guest is a mentor of mine. His name is Rabbi Zachariah Wallerstein. He's the founder and director of the Oren Navas Women's Center in Brooklyn, New York. He has become an icon in the Jewish world of fearless vision, deep conviction, and unfailing warmth. Now celebrating an over 3 decades career in chinuch and teaching, this dynamic educator with his trademark passion, clarity, and love has touched the hearts and souls of thousands of students from all shades of the religious spectrum. He's the author of the book, Let There Be Rain, A Lesson in Day in Making Gratitude a Part of Our Lives, which is found on Amazon. Rabbi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Charlie.
Well, it's so good to have you on. I for all the audience, I got to tell you, in the time before Rosh Hashanah, that month, the rabbi and his team launches a series called Avinu Malkeinu, My Father, My King. It's a tour around the world, and this year they didn't. And I'm blessed some years to be asked to be part of that. And I got to tell you, if you're in a city where this speech takes place, you got to show up. It's packed and it's amazing, and it's one of the highlights of my year. And every speech, the rabbi gets up and delivers a killer, and I'm like, how does he keep on doing it? But he keeps on doing it. Rabbi, thank you so much for joining us. And I know that you wrote a book on gratitude. So, I mean, you wrote a book on it. So give us, if you can, your perspective on what is gratitude and why is it so critical for our lives?
Okay, we call it the attitude of gratitude. It's a whole different attitude. Interesting, the day is called Thanksgiving, not thanks taking. You have to have gratitude that you're the giver, and that you don't have to be the taker, and you don't need to be taking. So that's the first gratitude is even in the word of Thanksgiving, that I'm able to give. That the first word that you say when you wake up in the morning, you don't even have to wash your hands. You don't have to have your yarmulke on your head. You don't have to be clean. Is modeh ani lefanecha. The first words that comes out of a human being's mouth every day is thank you. The first word before anything. And what are you thanking Hashem for? And I say this, it's a word from Rav Nachman, which is amazing. We know that God doesn't have anything extra in this world, there's not even a blade of grass extra. So if you wake up in the morning, it means you're not extra. If you were extra, you wouldn't wake up in the morning. Wow. So we thank Hashem that for some reason, your world, God, today is not complete without me.
I want to jump on that, because we can spend a night on that one principle. It is so big that we have to slow down. The recognition that I am a critical piece and God handed me my soul for another day and he believes in me.
Right.
Puts us in a state of
explosive. It's explosive. It's mind-boggling. Yeah. How could you have anxiety and be depressed if God decided today that he needs you? His world cannot exist without you, because if it could, you wouldn't be here. He has no extras. There's no extras in this world. There's no duplicates in this world. There's no one else like you. So a lot of people didn't wake up this morning. So you woke up, which means God gave you the greatest present that exists in the world, which is potential. Potential is life. Now you have to look in the mirror in the morning and say, whoa, God needs me. Now you got to look in the mirror and say, why? What could I do today? Why am I here?
Wow.
And that answer many times will be like all these things I saw before this, the pizza and all the other things. And I know the organization that helps the Rebbeim. I know who's behind it, and I'm not allowed to say who it is, but they're absolutely amazing people. The whole thing is absolutely amazing. And you got to look in the mirror, and I tell the girls in my school and in my wherever that you got to look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm not extra. So I'm not extra. What am I supposed to do today? And Hakar Satov, I saw that. I wanted to play the game. I don't know. I couldn't get in there. And I would have also said baskets for sure.
For sure, right? I would have gone baskets. And I know how competitive you are, Rabbi, because I know we'd be talking about the whole game now.
Right. And deer, I was sure that wasn't deer. Where did that come from?
I'm with you.
And I thought they were Cherokee Indians. I definitely would not have made it very, very, done very well. But the interesting thing is, what is Hakar? So the one I did get right is Hakar Satov. What does Hakar Satov actually translate? What does it mean? Recognition of good. Now, it's very important to be thankful for something that's definitely good. Is no great feat. If I come over to someone in the street and I give him $100,000 and he says thank you, of course you're going to say thank you. So Hakar Satov really means to be able to find the good in the things that don't look good, recognizing the good.
Oh, I see.
It's open to you that it's good, it's not recognizing good. Of course it's good. So recognizing in your life, right, that even the hard times that you're going through, that's real recognition. And be able to see the good in all the struggle, which me and you talk about all the time, struggle muscle, and that you become who you are because of what you go through. So Hakar Satov is more than gratitude. It's the ability to recognize the good. And the best example I could give you is Moshe Rabbeinu. was not allowed to hit the water because he was saved by the water. Really, he wasn't saved by the water. He was put in a waterproof basket, and that basket would normally float because that's what water does. So the water did nothing for him. The water acted like water. It's not like the water split for Klal Yisrael. It didn't go outside of its nature. So why wouldn't he be able to hit the water? The water did nothing for him. If I put a boat on the water and it floats, that's what water does. And the answer is that Hakaras HaTov, you have to recognize the mundane, though what they call in the world nature, right, is super good. So that even though the water was doing what it was supposed to, most people would not thank the water for it. You can't hit something that at the end of the day was doing its job. And I always tell my kids that when you have to be thankful to the waiter who's getting paid. Like, why do I have to help? Why do I have to clean off my table if there's a guy that cleans off the table? And the answer is, you're right, he's getting paid. You have to appreciate when people are doing what they're supposed to be doing for you, and it doesn't look like anything special. That's the third eye. That's the recognition of good, even though it doesn't look like it's doing anything good. And then you find God in nature, which the whole world, no, it's nature. It's normal gravity and the ocean and the sun, and it comes up every day. There's no thankful. If something like God stopped the sun for Yehoshua, whoa, that's amazing. Right. You got to thank Hashem. But that the sun comes up every day, that's nature. Hakaras HaTov is no. I recognize the good in things that are mundane that I take for granted. It's a different level.
That's a tremendous point that I don't think I've ever sort of thought through that concept, that Hakarat HaTov, which is really the Hebrew version of this, is there's an action here. And that's called recognition. And that's exactly right. That the recognition is no big shakes. If someone hands you some obviously good thing, then you don't get any points for recognition. And I think if we had that perspective,
that organization that gives the Rabbeim, right? So he's a teacher. He's getting paid from the school. Like, kids don't thank it. He's getting paid. It's a job, right? Yeah. They came along and said, no, you have to thank them for, even though they're getting paid and doing their job, we recognize perfect. That was a perfect example. Being able, you come home to your wife and she made supper. What do you mean? She's supposed to make supper. She's my wife. Oh, it's my husband. He's making a living. He's supposed to make a living. So I don't have a special thanks. No, thank you for making supper. I'm not taking it for granted. Thank you for making a living. I'm not taking it for granted. Recognition of the good when it doesn't seem to be anything special.
Wow. Rabbi, as always, such an important lesson for us to take in, the ability to recognize regular things that they're not regular at all. There's nothing in this world that is regular or is natural. And if there's ever a Thanksgiving, and maybe in the modern era that we can remember, where we have to stop and realize that even the smallest things are really extraordinary, like being with other people without putting cloths on our faces, like that, to think that we're there, but just to be thankful that we can be with other people today.
Do I have one more second? I just want
yes,
to say
you do.
Thing.
Of course.
One more second. So I love to talk to Holocaust survivors. I just like to understand how they made it. How do you have any questions? There's a 96-year-old Holocaust survivor that I prayed next to. And I went over to him 2 weeks ago by a Kiddush, and I said, I got to ask you a question, but you got to tell me the truth. I don't want rabbi stuff. I want to know, he went through Auschwitz. He lost everything. Did you have any questions after the Holocaust? But don't make me feel good. Tell me the truth. This old 96-year-old man looks at me and he says, Rabbi, you want to know the real truth? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yes, I did. I had one question. I'm like, he's normal. Listen, this is my end. This is very important for tonight. And he says to me, I had a question when I got out of Auschwitz and I went back to my town. Everyone's dead. My town's dead. My family's dead. Everyone's dead. And then I found out only a few months later that 6 million people died. So I had a question to Hashem. Why did you let me live?
Wow.
What do you know about me that I don't know about myself? This is what this man told me. He didn't have a question about the 6 million. So he said to me, and Rabbi, after 120, I have children and grandchildren, great grandchildren, all b'derech Hashem. This guy's in Kailo. He was showing off. This guy's in Kailo. This guy's a Rebbe. This guy gets tzedakah. He said, when I come up to Shemayim after 120, I want to be able to say, Hashem, I did good, didn't I? That you said.
What a great perspective.
That was his question.
Yep.
Why me? So every morning, Moda'ani, what am I doing here today?
Yep.
Why me?
Thank you, Rabbi. As always, it's great to have you on. And
Good to see you.
You
look good.
I'm not going to forget. Thank you.
You look good. B'yayin hara.
Amen. Amen. Should continue. Thank you, Rabbi. Good Shabbos. And it's exactly such an incredible point. Asking the right questions, being grateful for the right things, taking nothing for granted, recognizing that the things that may not look like good are really good. It's time to now go and give gratitude to our partner on the show, someone who has inspired many in her way. The one, the only, Jamie Geller.
Thank you, Charlie, so much. I am so thankful today. I'm just like in that gratitude mood. Hi, Mom. Okay, just like, I feel like I have to do that now every week, no matter what. All right. Now, it's very hard to get controversial when it comes to food. We've managed to ruffle a few feathers now and again, and this next recipe has done just that. Now, this either looks amazing to you or very unappetizing. I happen to love this. I want to see what you think. And more importantly, I want to know, Charlie, what do you think about this recipe? You always say nice things, so it was like a trick question because I know it's going to be good. All right, enjoy your Thanksgiving leftovers and Shabbat Shalom.
Amazing as always, Jamie. It's how do you make leftovers look good? That was phenomenal. For those that didn't get enough on Thanksgiving, you can always count on Jamie to keep it going. Thank you, Jamie, for what you do. For more on Jamie Geller, go to jamiegeller.com, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok at Jamie Geller Jewish by Jamie. We thank you for being such a big part of our show. And we look forward to many, many, many more shows together. Our next video is another Aish student that we have here as we continue showing a couple of clips from the different students that we have in the wonderful Aish Torah Yeshiva. Check out this latest video.
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Ariel, and as crazy as it sounds, we're coming to Thanksgiving. And with that, I just wanted to share some things that I'm grateful for. It's really amazing that here at Aish Torah, every morning when I wake up, I have this amazing view of the Kotel. I get to daven and learn with the amazing family I have here between the Rebbe and the students. It's really all incredible. So I just wanted to wish everyone back home an amazing Thanksgiving and, God willing, a great 2021.
And thank you for that. And now we have the opportunity to have the CEO of Aish Torah Global coming on now. Rabbi Stephen Berg is the CEO of this incredible organization and all of that which it does. In addition to rabbinic ordination and a master's in medieval Jewish history, both from Yeshiva University, Rabbi Berg has completed management courses at the Harvard Business School and at the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. Following his ordination, he embarked on a 22-year career at the OU and was appointed as the International Director of NCSY, the youth movement of the OU. Most recently, Rabbi Berg served as the Eastern Director of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, a global Jewish human rights organization that confronts anti-Semitism, hate, and terrorism, and promotes human rights and dignity, stands with Israel, and defends the safety of Jews worldwide. Rabbi Berg, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charlie. Nice to see you.
Oh, it's so awesome to have you on. Now, give us, before we start, your travels. And I know that Israel's shut down, but where have you been these past few months? Back and forth, back and forth. Just give us a sense so that we could sort of follow you around the drop, because I know that you're always on the road.
Yeah, I feel bad because I know that so many people are struggling to get into Israel, and it's been really difficult. I'm actually on Sunday going to be taking my 4th trip since the summer to Israel.
Oh my gosh!
Been back and forth a lot. Thankfully, yeshiva's packed. We've got millions of people, on H.com. We've just got so many programs all around the world. So there's a lot to do. Thank God, even through Corona.
So we just saw a clip of just a few of your students. Project Inspire. This program is a program of Aish Torah. Give us a sense in terms of what gratitude means to you. You're always running. You're always doing. You have all this stuff, so to speak, on your head. How does gratitude play into your life? Where have you seen it, and how does it really affect us and affect you?
I mean, look, I think I'm like most Jews. I mean, the ultimate gratitude is to the Almighty. The Almighty created an incredible world, but He also gave us challenges, and the challenges that He gave us are there to have us step up and do incredible things. And I think that with Noach Weinberg Zatzal, the founder of Aish Torah, he understood that. He understood that we need to give people the opportunity to give. Because when you give, and as has been said, I think by every person that's been on the program today, when you give, you receive so much more. And we're still doing that. We just set a 10-year goal of the next 10 years to get 3 million people, Jews, learning Torah that were not involved in Torah before. And every single time that we get someone involved in that goal and giving and supporting the Almighty and supporting their fellow Jews, you just get so much more in your heart.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're seeing it in terms of your students and the participants as well. Do you find that, as people are benefiting from these programs, there's some kind of cycle going on of the gratitude and the giving that just continues to move?
Absolutely. We have a theory, not theory, but really it's more of a hashkafa that when a person learns Aleph, they have to teach Aleph. And all the Torah that we give in Aish Torah is on condition that people give it over to other people. And so therefore, right from the first day, there's no such thing as just a taker in Aish Torah. The second you take anything from us, you're basically under an obligation to give it over to someone else. Meaning, we give, classes all over the world in all kinds of different languages, but it's all predicated on the fact that everyone needs to become a giver.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because I remember hearing that from Noach as well. This concept of stop waiting until you're perfectly poised. You'll never be perfectly poised. God's running the world anyways, and just start giving. And I wonder if that's really underlying a lot of the fire, if you will, under Aish, which is this idea that we don't have to be ready. We have to be willing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's one of the big things that people go through. Like, who am I to give? Is my Shabbos table good enough? And all those things. And the bottom line is, when you look at the Gemara, it talks about the 4 people that never sinned. It gives, Yishai and Binyamin, and they were wonderful people. But really, the heroes of Jewish people were people like Moshe, people like David. These are people that sinned, meaning no one was perfect. That's the whole idea of Judaism. Other religions, people and prophets can be perfect. No one's perfect here. And it doesn't matter. You just do your best. That's what God wants at the end of the day. He wants you to do your best.
Yeah. What's the message we can walk away with? That you're the last guest that we have on the show today. And in many ways, before you go, let me show my gratitude to you and to the whole organization here. Aish Torah, like we said, is the global organization which encompasses so much more, but also is a Project Inspire, which is my partners in the show. And thank you for your support, and thank you to everyone who's involved in this show, which we'll get to another time, but everyone who's involved at all levels. But what could be a message that we walk away with, so that each of us can put something into our hearts and minds with what we have to do and how gratitude can really make us a bigger and a better person?
Look, the bottom line is that Project Inspire is not just a program of Aish Torah. It really is the philosophy of Aish Torah. It's about being a giver, and as I've said many times, a baby is born. There's no more selfish being in the world than a baby. When a baby is tired, it cries. When it goes to the bathroom, it cries. When it's hungry, it cries. And at some point, as you get older, you transform from being selfish to being selfless. That's what God wants ultimately. That is the ultimate test of a Jew, is can you become selfless? Can you become a giver? And that is Aish. And that's why so many millions of people around the world gravitate to Aish Torah. And I think Project Inspire has done a good job of basically, espousing the Aish Torah philosophy and getting it out there. that, you have to give. And I would say the ultimate gratitude to Almighty is that he has made us a partner. He is a giver and we're also a giver. He has given us the ability to give. That's the ultimate gratitude.
Amazing. Rabbi, thank you for what you do for the world. Thank you for what you do for us personally. And may you continue shining your light on this world.
Take care, Charlie. Thank you.
That was Rabbi Stephen Berg, an incredible individual who I've had the pleasure of knowing for most of my life and watching and really admiring, someone who's so dedicated to the Jewish people and to Aish Torah and all they do for the world. And allow me to give my thanks to the team that's constantly pushing us here, and obviously to Yossi and Yaakov and Lauren, the entire team that's producing this show every single week. There's, and to Lisa, of course, and to Lisa as well. And there's so much more going on every single week into doing all these pieces. But I want to just sort of end with this idea that really at the end of the day, it's the gratitude that makes us who we are. It's the gratitude that allows us to fully express this powerful soul that we have. And what I've seen throughout the whole show, which I think, and I hope that you've seen as well, is that the people that are the most grateful, people that are the most that can recognize the good in everything, they're the ones that have the most. It's an amazing way God creates the world. He makes it look as if taking is what accumulating is the goal. Actually, it's the gratitude and the recognition and the giving that gives us the greatest lives. And isn't that what Shabbat really is? Isn't that Shabbat? The moment where we look up and we realize, this ain't my world. This ain't my world. I'm just here for a few days, a week, trying my hardest. But every seventh I stop and go, wait a second. There's something more to my life. There's something more to my existence. And I got to make sure that I bring that out. And so what could be better than Thanksgiving to Shabbat? Because that's really the transition. Because when you're in that state of mind, there's no better place than you belong than Shabbat. So on behalf of me and mine to you and yours, I'd like to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And may this be a Shabbat filled with gratitude and thanks, perspective, wisdom, patience. May we realize how lucky we are. Like the Rabbi Wallerstein said, may we wake up in the morning every day and go, God needs me. Wow. It feels amazing to be needed for humanity. May we, like Rabbi Berg said, may we just go out there and do. Don't worry. Just give, like we saw from the famous Pizza Brigade and from those great people in Chazdei Lev and everything else that we saw tonight. May this be a Shabbat that we realize how powerful we are and how much we have to give to this world. I hope and pray that next week we can do this show live from Jerusalem, but if not, I hope with God's help to see you again next week. Until then, have a great weekend, happy Thanksgiving, good Shabbos, and Shabbat Shalom. Can't wait to see you next week.
We together call it shoot. With every generation, they take one, raising the haters. Then I shim hit the pavement, blazing the savers. Till the world asks where they went. Patience are faithless. The Torah gave the whole world a facelift. If hatred is baseless, we take it, erase it, and exchange it for that master goal. We don't forget wherever we may go. There is only one place we know, and it's called Zero. We won.
Pieces and you're just falling down. I pick you up, and if you feel